What's up, YouTube fans? Today we're going to take a look at the Bingo Toys Spider Lady, or their version of a Masterpiece Scale Blackarachnia. This was sent to me by Dr. Diecast. Thanks for letting me take a look at this. And this is actually the third Bingo Toys figure I'm looking at. I looked at their Shockwave and then their Windblade, and now we're looking at this one. The Windblade and this are actually somewhat similar to some of the engineering, but there is some new engineering design on her. It has a really gorgeous paint and sculpt. You can see we got some gunmetal, silver, metallic purple, metallic gold, black paint, and then red for the eyes and the head crest. That all looks really nice. It does come with the face not installed. I showed in the unboxing. You gotta pick a face and put it on there. I just put the stock face there. Regular face. Here's the back. It also comes without the rear for the spider, and also the spider legs are not installed. So by default, this is how it comes. But before we get all that installed, why don't we take a look at her articulation? The mandibles here, if you prefer a more G1-y look, you can do that. You can get these up and kind of like that if you want. But those are on ball joints, each of them, so you can move them in any direction you want. The head is on a ball joint as well, and the neck is on a ball joint, so there's kind of two. It's hard to move the head without the neck, but you can rotate around. You can get side to side on the head itself, and then the neck as well. Goes down to there with the ball joint, and then down to there with the neck. You have a lot of movement there on the head, and then back to there. Really nice articulation. The shoulder's on a ball joint, so it gives you a butterfly joint there. The shoulder pad itself can move up and down. The bicep, or the shoulder, is on a hinge, so it gets you up to there. You can butterfly joint that. You have rotation at the bicep on a mushroom peg, although it's well hidden because you got this shoulder pad here. Double jointed elbow on a metal hinge there. You have the hands are on a ball joint. It comes without hands installed by default, so I just put these default fisted hands, but later we'll show you there's other hands available. You have a ab crunch in two spots here and up here, so you can get way down. If you lift up on that, you can just really, get it extended. So that's a nice ab crunch. It also rotates down at this lower joint. It's a little squeaky, and the upper joint, so you can move it quite a bit. There's a lot of rotation there. So coming down the legs, you have a hip skirt here on the side that you can lift out of the way. The leg will go up to there, but it's on a drop down joint. So if you drop it down, it gets a little wonky, but it gives you a little bit more space. You can also detach this tab right here on the inner hip, and then you can get it way, way up because it's opened up that rotation. So you can get that reattached there. You have rotation at the thigh on universal. And let's get this stored back in there. It can get a little out of whack there, so you got to make sure you put it the right direction. Double jointed knee on a kneecap that moves on its own. So this piece and this piece are kind of automorphing things, which is pretty cool. I like the way they did that. You have ankle tilt forward and backward, side to side, and then the heel can go in and out. All right, let's take a look at accessories, and we'll start off with the ones that complete her. So here's the spider bum, and I recommend actually detaching these. It comes attached in the box. And this piece here has a little tab right there that can go into here. And, I'm not sure if it's meant to be in there or not, but if you tab that together, and now you have this, you can kind of put these out to the side. And then this will plug in right here. So you get that pegged in. Just a little twist. And then these you can do whatever you want, but in the promo images they kind of had this facing down, and then these sort of flayed out. Splayed out. So you can kind of do whatever you want. You know, it could be obtrusive. You could just push it all in, make it small. For the spider legs, they come like this. So there is a tab and a slot right there. So my intent is to make the spider legs as little in the way as possible, if that makes sense. You know, try to make it as compact as possible. So I put one down like that, and now we got all her spider legs on there, and they're the most out of the way. They don't get in the way of the arm articulation or anything, and you can still rotate the head. So that's why I choose this. Maybe not the prettiest, but at least it gives you the maximum articulation with everything attached. She does stand. I have an uneven surface here on my review area, so that doesn't help. But I will say she does stand on these legs. You can balance her, and stands just fine. You just have to like find that spot. But yeah, I really like how she looks overall. So let's go over the rest of the accessories. So first off, you get some hands here. So you get these open, kind of expressive hands. And you can just pop these off the ball joint, pop these on, and now you have those new hands. By the way, for transformation, you have to have the fisted hands. Any of these other hands won't fit inside the cavity of the arm there. All right, we also get these hands, which in the Bingo Toys Windblade review, I did not know what these were for. But if you are familiar with this sculpture, they have this, so she can make the heart. So you can do that. But let's get to the most useful hands, which are the gripping hands, right? Because we want to hold the weapons. Those are the ones that work. And me personally, these are the hands I would use for the remainder of the review, and also if I was putting it on my shelf. So now that we have these, we can use our weapons. So we've got this gun done in that same black with a little bit of red there, kind of like a spider, Black Widow, and then you got the metallic purple. That all looks really good. And this will fit into our hand. Boom, boom. And you can also store it down here. There's a little spot. If you want to store the gun, you can take it and plug it in right here. And then cover it up or whatever. We also get some swords done in a really nice metallic purple. And that same black. And you get two of them, of course. Now these you can also store. There's a bunch of different spots. There's some on her shoulders. There's some here on the side of the tail. So you want, different looks. You can do that. But this has a bending handle. So wherever you display it, you can kind of angle it, make it look however you like. But there you go. All right, so there's the stock face. It's got kind of the bigger, wider eyes done in red. And then the head crest is not quite the look that you had with the G1 Beast Wars. So if you want that look, you can swap it out with this piece here. To do that, you just pull forward on this crest and then pop in the new crest, and now you have that kind of face mask look. It does go right over the eyes there. I do prefer this look. I think it just looks more like the Blackarachnia that I know. But it's nice that you have the option. To swap out the face, you can pull forward on this mask, pull forward on the chin down here, and that'll pop out the face. You can see the eyes are going to remain behind. There's a sort of yelling face. There's another yelling face, maybe more angry. The other one was kind of happy. There's her smiling face. All right, and then we get these humanoid style faces, and they're kind of skin tone, and they look better with the other head crest just because it opens up the eyes a little bit. So if you want this, me personally, I think this looks really weird because of the color scheme of the figure. But there's a few options here. Basically the same face options as the other one. There's the O face. I don't know. This one is a little much for me. There's a face with a tongue sticking out. It looks very strange, but there you go. And then there's a smiling, laughing face. So really 8 face options, which is a lot for a single figure. My personal preference, though, is the, Beast War style head crest and face. Now, she does come with a stand here. It is the same design as what we got with their Windblade. Not very good, but at least it's not translucent plastic like it was before, so it doesn't crumble on you. But in order to use it in robot mode, you do need both of these. Otherwise, it just doesn't work. So you're going to take this one end and fold this down. You're going to fold this over, and then we're going to come to this one and unpeg this from here. And you can see there's a little extra tab there. So go ahead and attach this to that. And then this, we're going to peg this into here. Now, I wouldn't mess with the stand too much because it is semi-fragile as a stand. By the way, it does come apart if you wanted to for storage or whatever. But get that into there and just be careful. Line this up to here. And, we got to do this the other way around. So fold this down, and that'll hold it from falling. And then this is where you're going to attach. So come to the back here, and you can see if we remove this, we can see there's a spot right there in her bum for one of these. And I will mention it is very tight. It's very challenging to get in there. All right, there she is on the stand. I would not put this on my shelf. It does not feel sturdy at all. It does work, but you just really have to be careful with it because it's very thin. All right, now let's get Spider Lady transformed into spider mode. And there are a couple of tricky parts, especially on the backpack, but let's get started with the arms. So go ahead and lift these up. And remember, I mentioned make sure you have the fisted hands, otherwise you're not going to be able to transform it. We're going to open up this black part here. You can just get a fingernail in here, and that'll let you open that up. We're going to open up this rear leg while rotating that hand in, and then you'll have the front leg. You can just leave that angled forward. Same thing on this side. All right, next we'll come to the back here, and so go ahead and get this out of here. Rotate this around, and just get these up and out of the way. This will be the least intrusive for the transformation, and then we can always fix it later. All right, just get this all folded up like this. You're going to extend at the waist on this joint. Rotate that 180 degrees. It is very squeaky. That's how it sounds, unfortunately. And we can come back to here. And this part's a little tricky the first time especially. It's very tight. But basically you're going to take this entire gold panel and slide it out. And I would not use the legs to do that just because it could damage the posts. So just push on this, and it's going to go out and around on a double double hinge. So you get that rotated down all the way. So it should look like that. And same on this side. Get this rotated out and down. And it helps if you push on this top bit here. Right, so it should look like that. And just leave these spider legs here for now. These legs are going to come up and rotate around and sit just like that. Same with this one. Bring this up and around and have it sit in on the inside. We're going to take the chest here, unplug it from the front. This is going to come up. We're going to rotate this on another squeaky hinge. Make sure the head is sitting all the way back. The head crest is going to fit into a cavity there. It doesn't peg together, it just kind of sits there. So it should look like that. Okay. We're going to get these arms flipped around. Alright, now they got all the arms configured in the right direction. You can kind of see that's the head. We'll take care of this. And this is probably the more complicated part of the whole thing. But basically lift this up, lift all this up. There's a panel right here. You're going to unpeg this from here. This is going to rotate around to the front. There's two tabs that are going to go into the front here, and then two tabs on the back are going to go into the side gold pieces here. So bring this down and tab in the top first, and then tab in the sides. And make sure it goes all the way in, because that really does secure the whole thing. Right? Then we can take this piece here and bring this up a little bit. And you want to have a space in between here. Now this is the part earlier I mentioned you want to unscrew these because they're really tight. And loosening them will help you in this transformation, but you're going to rotate these armatures down. And so go ahead and lift up this panel, but we're going to get the legs through the middle here. And they have to fit right through here, and then the ankle is going to sit right in there. You need to bend at both joints. So bend at the bottom joint. You can close up this heel, fold down the foot, and then bend at the top joint. Make its way through here. And you should end up bending the knee all the way down by the time you make it here. And you can see how it's going to fit. But let's do the other one before we close that up. Bring this up, close up the heel, flip the foot forward a little bit. And this is going to come down and fit right in between here. And now that you have both legs down, we can bring this panel down. And one thing I forgot to mention, which we actually didn't do, is you need to extend the legs down, otherwise you're going to have trouble. So these legs, remember, they have drop down hip joints, so pull those down. Otherwise you're going to have issues getting it to fit. Right? These gold pieces should be pushed down on top. Right? So now that we have those pulled out and extended, you can plug these gold tabs into the top, like that, on both sides. And in the front, it should be fitting right over the ankles, like that. So it should look something like that. There we go. Then you're going to take these side panels, they're going to tab in. There's two tabs. There's one on the back and there's one on the front. So get them both in. Just line them up. This one's actually going into the side of the leg. And I'll show you on this side. There's a little slot right there for that tab. So same thing on this side. Get those lined up. Alright, and there we have Spider Lady in her spider mode. And this thing looks really good. It's a very nice looking spider. Probably the best, most convincing spider I've seen in a masterpiece scale. I really like how the gold and purple look. It's just a nice contrast, nice metallic colors. The bum here, that all looks really nice with the red details and accents that just really comes through. The feet look nice there, you know, kind of fits in. There's the head. You got the chest becomes the eyes, and then this is the mandibles or the mouth. So you can get this kind of pose however you want. It doesn't really matter, but it's pretty cool. You can actually open up this mouth here. So you can have that look. There's teeth in there and everything. That kind of surprised me. I just thought that was a really cool feature. All the legs are articulated, so you can move in and out. You can rotate. You can basically move them in any direction. And then these as well can go up and down, in and out. So you can sit her more flat if you want to. I just wanted her up to show that she can actually stand up. A lot of spiders have trouble, or at least robot spiders, have trouble standing up because the joints, the ball joints are too weak. These are nice and tight, so you can get it in whatever pose you want, which is very nice. You can store some of the weapons here in spider mode. If you come to the bottom, there's a little slot right there in her butt. You can take the gun, and that will fit right here into that peg. And now you have kind of a tail or a stinger, which is pretty cool. You can also take these if you want and plug these into here, the swords, and you can have that look, kind of like she has spikes or whatever you want to pretend that it is. That's pretty neat. Or wings. And yeah, it really works. All right, there you go. There she is on the stand. That works for me personally. You can put her into a pose. It's just really the robot mode, because of the way this stand is configured. It's definitely better for the spider mode. And for a quick size comparison, there it is next to the Masterpiece Optimus Primal from Beast Wars. And nice size spider here. Nice and big. Fits in nicely with the Masterpiece scale. So final recommendations on the Bingo Toys Spider Lady. I'm going to give this a 4 to 5. I'm going to recommend it. I think this is a pretty good version of Blackarachnia. Probably my favorite that's come out. I really didn't like the MP. It just was fiddly and fumbly. I think we got a trans art version, which is, trans metal Blackarachnia, and that was pretty good, but the legs were very breakable on that one. This one, the legs are really well done. They feel good. They are toleranced well. They're painted nicely. They have that nice premium look that Transart had, but they have the sturdiness of an MP. So that's a good combination, and that's why I prefer this one over the other two. The only thing I really don't like is the stand. It's pretty much junk. I mentioned that during the previous Bingo Toys Windblade review, and it's a little bit better here because at least it's not translucent plastic, but still not the greatest. But everything else really works. The gun is really nice, painted nicely. The hands work. The alternate head crest for the different looks, so you can have different versions of her. That's really nice. I don't care for these flesh tone faces, but it's a nice option for people to have if they want to display it that way. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Thanks to Dr. Diecast for sending this for review. We'll see you next time.